Hello, BookTube. I wanted to make a quick video just to wrap up the year and say goodbye. Uh, some of you who have been watching this channel for years will know that at the end of every year I disappear from the wavelengths, stop making videos, stop answering emails, stop being on social media. And I never exactly know in any given year when that undertow is going to become too strong to ignore, when it is going to pull me under. Ordinarily, it's later than this, but this year it's too strong. It's too strong to ignore, so it's time. I made a tag, my last tag for the year, and this will be my last video for 2021. And I didn't want to disappear without thanking you. I know I do this every year, but every year BookTube manages to surprise me in good ways, in ways that are incredibly touching. And I don't just mean the ways that you might think are obvious. The most obvious one would be when BookTube reaches into the real world, right? I've had visits this in 2021 from many BookTubers. I've made real-world friends with many BookTubers, and of course, there's Mark Richardson and the Richardson family up in Vermont, where the Frida Bean and I go. We have a room of our own. We have a standing invitation. Those sorts of things are incredible. They're an incredible bounty when you think about where they came from. This weird platform that we all decided on the spur of the moment one day to join. Those things arose, those real-world things arose out of that. And you might think that that would be the foremost thing on my mind, and it is, of course, on my mind. But I'm thinking about other ways that BookTube has surprised me positively in every year, but also in 2021. And it's to do with all of you. It's to do with the hundreds and hundreds of people that I will never meet, that I'm still in contact with, and where that contact feels real. It does not feel like an internet parasocial relationship. It feels very real on two levels. One is that since I leave my email for you, you can email me about any subject that you want. You can email me as often as you want. Over the course of 2021, most of you, 99% of you, have been extremely understanding about that. You've done me the honor in quite a few cases. You've done me the honor of emailing me real conversation. Here's what I think about this. This is really bothering me. I'm really worried about this. This is really frustrating me. Often having nothing to do with books. Granted, a great number of those have been about dogs, but a great number of them have not been either. That is tremendous. That kind of connection is tremendous. To step through the looking glass of this medium, of YouTube, which if you watch YouTube outside of this little corner of BookTube, the first word that will occur to you is insincere. And yet, for so many people to be able to just step through the glass and into my inbox and simply start up a friendly correspondence on all kinds of subjects is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. I cannot express how grateful I am for that. And the other aspect of that is when people don't even do that. When so many of you just create this relationship here without emailing me, just with comments in the comments field of these videos or making fun of each other on various social media. I swear it's only BookTube that makes Twitter or Instagram bearable. And not just bearable, but fun. The sheer unexpected joy of meeting so many strangers that are willing to play with me, to play around with me, to alternate between serious, between sometimes irritated, and also playful. And to get that interplay, think about your own life. Think how rare it is in IRL, in real life, to find even one or two people that get that interplay. And yet, we are hundreds. There are hundreds of people that I have that with here because of BookTube. because of this weird thing, this weird BookTube. I was urged to do this by two young people who are no longer on BookTube. And then when the crap hit the fan and I was thinking, well, who needs this? When I saw the worst that BookTube has to offer, I was urged to stick with it by four people, all four of whom have become friends since then, but who didn't know me from a hole in the wall when they were urging, when they were saying, no, don't give up on this. There's more good here than bad. This is not us. That was a long time ago, and those kinds of reaching outs have not stopped in all this time with brand new people. You take those elements together, you bind them all up together, and I'm looking at those at the end of this year, and I just wanted to make a video. It's not a quick video, sorry, but I'll wrap this up. I wanted to make a video at the end of this year, as I do every year, right before I'm about to disappear, right before, as you Whovians put it, I'm about to regenerate. And thank you. Just thank you for that. Thank you for, it's so cheesy to say the community. Most of the people on YouTube and even BookTube who say thank you for the community don't actually want community. They don't want anything to do with that. They would call a lawyer if anything like community were actually to arise. A lot of people who use that term offhandedly really do want a parasocial relationship, which is a sociological term, a psychological term for pop culture parasitism, where there's one person who's siphoning stuff out of a group of people who think they have a personal relationship with that person, but they don't. The one person who is getting them to think that wants stuff from them that they can only get through a personal relationship, but they don't want the personal relationship. Whereas, as I mentioned, and as a friend of mine is always saying, this is the weirdest parasocial relationship anywhere on BookTube, because I don't want what I can get from that relationship unless it's your 10-year-old Chromebook. But I do want the kind of personal connection that a lot of people who use the term community run in fear of, would sue you for. And we've managed to make that happen, which is always amazing to me. At the end of every year, I look back on this experience, and it always amazes me that this sort of thing is possible. I keep waiting every year for YouTube to shut it down. It doesn't make them any money. It doesn't do them any good. They're accidentally creating something absolutely wonderful. And they wouldn't want to do that. They're a huge corporation. They wouldn't want to do that if they knew they were. They would shut it down. I keep waiting for that to happen, but it hasn't happened yet, and I didn't want to disappear this year without thanking you for it, without thanking you for being an unbelievably consistent bright spot in my day. No matter what the day is like. I've mentioned before on this channel that I have a bit of a routine. And that routine is that at some point in the morning, I settle on this fainting couch, the light streaming in through the windows, the dog nice and cared for, myself nice and cared for, and I've got a stack of books and a laptop, and my brain is humming. I am eager to dive into that day's work. I'm eager to do it. I love that feeling. Like a lot of you, I suspect, I've had many, many years in my life where that was not the case at all. Where maybe I might have felt something like that enthusiasm when I looked ahead to the weekend. But at the start of the day, feet on the floor out of the bed for the first minute of the day, no. The looking ahead was much different than that. It was dark. It was gloomy. It was pessimistic. It was hateful. And I don't have that anymore. That I sit, when I set up shop on the fainting couch first thing in the morning, I look at that work and I am eager to get to it. I'm happy to get to it. It's thrilling and interesting and always new. But in addition to that, every morning, there's the bright spot ahead of that at some point during the day, I'm going to talk to my imaginary BookTube friends, and it's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. And I have you to thank for that. I don't know how to express those thanks except just to say thank you. I am very, very grateful for this weird thing we have here. And I wanted that to be the note that I ring off with for the year. So I'm going to close out this video now and shut up and go away. With just my thanks. I don't know how to put it in any other way than that. I am incredibly humbled and grateful. Don't expect the humbled part to last, but you already know that. So I hope you all have a happy new year and lots of good reading. Goodbye, BookTube.